Welcome back to Mystical Heart Tarot Readings. This is another update on the Gabby Petito case, as seen through the eyes of a stranger with the help of Spirit. I've come up with several questions on this such tragic situation. So we're going to get started. So apparently Gabby and her fiance were staying with his parents, with her future in-laws, for approximately a year, is my understanding. So, the question, this came from somebody else, this question. What went on in the house, in the future in-laws' home, while living there? I don't have everybody's astrology sign. Just a heads up. What went on in the house while Gabby and her fiance were living there? Let me get back to my other notes where I have the astrology signs listed. Okay. So the question was, what went on in the future in-laws' homes while they lived there? So the first card we get is the Wheel of Fortune. Things were moving around the wheel. Changes were taking place. Some sort of changes were taking place. And then we have, there's no astrology sign for the Wheel of Fortune. The Queen of Swords, swords being air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. From the signs that I have, I don't see anybody under that sign. So we know things were changing. The Queen gives me the impression that there was a lot of maybe communication taking place in the background. I feel like there was communication taking place that Gabby wasn't aware of. Or maybe Gabby was the one that was doing the communicating that her fiancé and his family wasn't aware of. I'm not sure, because I don't know who, if this card I don't know if that who that belongs to. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The next card we have is the Chariot. The Chariot represents the sign of Cancer. I don't know of anybody as of yet under that sign. That represents travel. So maybe there was, so we know they ended up changing things around and spinning the wheel. There may have been arguments, and it could have been surrounding a vehicle. It may have been an argument surrounding the fact that they were considering traveling. And it could have been with the partner, or it could have been within herself. This also is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So I don't know who any of these are. As I said, I don't have everybody's astrology sign. So let's clarify these. So we know there was a change. Eventually a change came where they were traveling. Did they argue about it? It's possible. Did they argue about how they were going to travel or whose vehicle they were going to take to travel in? Because we have a vehicle sitting here. So we're going to clarify these cards. The Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Six of Wands. Wands being Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So we do have a person under the sign of Aries, and that is the future mother-in-law. Did she create this change? Was she behind the change? Was she behind them moving or going traveling cross country? Did she encourage it? Did she encourage the travel across country and is claiming a victory? Because the Six of Wands, it's upright, it reflects a victory. Let's look at this Queen of Swords. The either conflict that's taking place, or there could be talking behind people's back, communicating behind people's back, taking place with this Queen. Clarifying the Queen, please. Thank you. And we get the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So the Queen is clarified by the Ace. The Ace is a new start. New thoughts, new communication. New forms of communication. Did they argue over the communication, the way they were going to communicate? It's possible. Okay, let's look at the Chariot. Let's clarify the Chariot. Clarifying the Chariot, please. And we get the Queen of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Well, this card reflects Gabby. It could reflect her fiance because he's Scorpio, but I feel like this reflects Gabby because it was her vehicle that they took. And now we're going to clarify the Two of Swords. And we get the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles reflects somebody younger. Pentacles is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We do have a Virgo, and that would be Gabby's best friend. So, we're clarifying the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords was Gabby in communication with her friend about this new journey that she was taking. So the question, let's go back to the question. What went on in the future in-laws' house? I feel like Spirit is telling me that there may have been communication that was being hidden, but beyond that, Spirit is telling me everything we already know. Things were changing within the house. They took Gabby's car. This is Gabby, and that's her car. And she communicated with her friend. So, this we already knew. But I feel like there may have been something more going on behind the scenes when it came to communication. Right here. In the form of, were they encouraged to take this trip for some reason? That's a yes or no question I can't answer, so before anybody decides to put that in the comment section, I can't answer that question. So I'm going to move on to the next question. The next two questions involves who. So I'm not going to be clarifying the next two questions because it's going to represent people. Now, I don't have, there's other people, there could be other people that I don't know about or have their astrology signs. So just be aware of that when I ask this next question. And on this next question, I will stop pulling cards when Spirit tells me to. And my next question is, the day that Gabby was hurt, injured, harmed, however you want to put it, I don't want to say a specific word on YouTube. The day that Gabby crossed over, the day that something happened that resulted in Gabby crossing over. Who was there? Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. Well, this is really... I've got goosebumps right now, I'll be honest with you. The first card doesn't have an astrology sign assigned to it. It's the Judgment card. It reflects the change in life. And that was what I was asking about. Who was there when she was injured that resulted in her crossing over? And the Judgment card reflects a change in life. Now I do have 2 astrology signs here, but I don't have the fiancés. I don't want anybody to think I'm taking anybody's side. I'm simply responding to what Spirit is showing me. And since the fiancé's card is not on the board, keep in mind his sun sign might not show up. One of these signs could be in his birth chart. Now here we have Gemini, and here we have Libra. Now looking at the cards, and I don't have anybody, like I said, I don't have all the astrology signs. Let's see. I need to check something here. Okay. That was no help. So what I have here, we know it was close to a full moon when it happened. I do know that. This could be somebody under the sign of Gemini. This card reflects government agency. So where she was located at, there could have been wildlife agencies in the area and just didn't notice? Or did they notice? I don't know. It's odd that I didn't get her fiancé's card. Spirit, are you sure there was nobody else there that day? Well, so Spirit showing me one more card. This is the King of Wands. This is somebody that is very... Wands reflects a fiery person because it represents the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now we do know an Aries. And that would be her future mother-in-law. But what's throwing me off, and of course, like I said, I don't have all of the astrology signs. I don't have her future father-in-laws, and I don't have her future sister-in-laws. So I don't know their signs. But this represents the day that her life changed. The Judgment card. The Lovers is the sign of Gemini, but the card itself reflects choices and decisions. And I don't see any initials on those columns. This tells me that these were the people that were there the day she gained her wings. This could be somebody under the sign of Libra. But when I look at this card, I always think of a government agency. And then we have the King of Wands, who is a very strong-willed, passionate person. And even though it's the king, which would be a male, it could be a female with masculine traits. I've said that numerous times, many times. So that's not necessarily, does not necessarily mean that's a man. That could be a female with masculine traits. I don't know why I did not get the fiancé's card here. I mean, why is he running if he didn't do anything? So I guess we just have to wait and see. So I'm going to move on to the next question. Also, once again, the next question is another who question. I may come back and redo that question because I probably should have clarified those cards and I didn't. So I may come back to that question. So the next question, who's going to find the fiancé? Well, for my train lovers, there you go. Who is going to find... Who's going to find the fiancé? And I didn't get the Justice card. Spirit, who's going to find the fiancé? Anybody else? So we got the Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We've got Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, which this could be the fiancé himself. And then we have the Sun card that I feel reflects this fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now, like I said, I don't have all the astrology signs. And I know there is a particular person currently in the spotlight assisting in apprehending the fiancé. I do know that person's astrology sign, and I will say it is not on the board. So, I don't have the Justice card here. So it may be a private citizen or some private citizens that locate him. Because the question was who will find him. It wasn't who will take him in, take him into custody. It wasn't anything like that. Because if I would have said who will take him into custody, then I would have looked for that particular person's sign, or I would have looked for the Justice card. But I didn't ask that. I asked who will find him. And I feel like this could be Mom. Mom could give him up. Mom. His mom. I don't know his dad's sign. This card could be him. And I don't know who this is. It could be, I don't know what, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it could be Dad's sign because I don't know what his sign is. So there is a slight possibility the parents might give him up. I don't know. But I don't see, I'm not seeing a government agency finding him. Or that other person. And then now, I'm going to do one more question. And then I may go back to that question about, I may change it or alter it a little bit to see what Spirit gives me. But I've got a different question, so let me get this one done first. So, now this is a very general question. What does his parents know about, I need to break it down, I guess. We'll break this question down because that's too much to ask. So the first thing I'm going to ask is, what does the parents know about the situation of what happened to Gabby? So we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We do have a Virgo. And that would be Gabby's friend. This represents, the Pentacles represent something materialistic. And then we have once again the Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And once again it's in reverse position, so we have either somebody hiding some communication, hiding some thoughts, could be negative thoughts, could be negative communication. And then we have the High Priestess here. And I feel with the High Priest, and we've got this moon in the background. And this is the card with the initials JB on it. There's the J, there's the B. This, they know she crossed over. And they're keeping quiet. And yes, I understand that because she was found, of course they know she crossed over, but the point I'm making is they knew she crossed over before the rest of us did. Because we have this knight that's moving slowly. And I'm going to clarify this knight, because I'm not sure why he's on the board. Well, now I know. We had a tower moment. Change. So, we know that her friend, what did I say the sign was? Virgo. He's a Virgo. The Tower is clarifying this card. This card knew about the change. That took place. Before everybody else did. The Queen of Swords. And we have the Two of Swords in reverse. Conflict. So they knew there was a conflict. I think we all knew there was a conflict. Somewhere towards, I want to say the end of August, I believe, was when the police were called on them alongside the road. I believe that's when it was. Don't hold me to that. And now the High Priestess is clarified by the Fool in reverse. Somebody was jealous. Not jealous. Careless, excuse me. Somebody was careless. Somebody was careless. There's no astrology signs associated with either one of these cards. Somebody was careless. And now the Six of Swords reversed. We're going to clarify that. And we get the Three of Wands. Wands being Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So the question was, what does the parents know about the situation? And of course, after they found her, they would know. So I should have clarified that with Spirit, that I needed to know what they knew prior to her being found. But I do see conflict. They know that there was conflict, but we all did, because the police were called. So, I'm going to go to the next question, and then I'm going to repeat two questions and rephrase them. So I'm even going to change this question up. Before I get ahead of myself and ask another question. What involvement does his parents play in his disappearance? What involvement do they play in his disappearance? So what I have here, I have the Two of Swords in reverse. I have the Knight, not Swords, the Two of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Wands upright. Wands being Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We know Mom is an Aries. So here we have separation. Moving away from this volcano that's erupting. We have the Two of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So the Pentacles could represent a vehicle. It could represent other things. Money. It could represent money. And then we have the Page of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And guess what? He is a Scorpio. He is a young Scorpio. But he's being watched. He's being watched. The page reflects a new journey, a new beginning. But he's being watched. The Two in reverse is somebody trying to separate themselves from their feelings, possibly. We're going to clarify the Two of Wands that's in reverse. Well, there possibly is a Capricorn involved, because we have the Devil card now. Toxic behaviors. Possibly some addictions. There's possibly some addictions. And that's why the separating the feelings. Somebody's trying to separate their feelings. Knight of Wands. What do I mean by separating feelings? Trying to think about it if your child did something, or you know your child did something, or you thought your child did something. You would try to separate your feelings. You would try to work through your feelings. But this is sort of a loss. It's a separation. This is a separation of feelings. And the Knight of Wands is clarified by the Moon card. That is Gabby's card. It is in reverse. And it was close to a full moon when she was harmed. So the full moon, the moon card in reverse, and my question being, what involvement does the parents play in his disappearance? The moon card is telling them to be wary of what they're doing. If they're helping him, be wary of new situations. So let's look at the Two of Pentacles. And we get Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is upright. Like I said, the Two of Pentacles could represent money. They may have given him money. And they may be communicating in some way. Because the Six of Swords is all about communication. And the Six of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now the Page of Cups, who I believe is the fiancé that's on the run. And we get the Emperor. The Emperor, the astrology sign for the Emperor is Aries. So, the question I asked was, what involvement did the parents play in him disappearing? I don't know his father's sign, but I do know his mother's. It's right there. But I don't think that's going to come as a surprise to anybody that's watching either. So I'm going to go back and reformulate the question. This is a who question. I'm going to reword it. And see what Spirit tells me. And I may get the same cards. And the question, the way I'm going to word it, who played a role in harming Gabby? Anybody else? Did anybody else play a role, Spirit? Anybody else? So I got different cards this time because I rephrased the question. Who played a role in harming Gabby? The first card I got, the Knight of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Now we have the fiancé. Next we have the Empress. The Empress I know other people. Was Gabby pregnant? That's a feeling I get from the Empress. And then right next to it we have the Four of Wands, and there's a child in that picture, in that card. I don't know if she was. I do not know. If she was, she wasn't very pregnant, because when I seen the video from where they were pulled over by the officers and she was in the back of the police car, she did not appear pregnant. But I find it odd that I'm pulling the Empress. Now it could also mean, I asked the question, who played a role in harming her. There could have been an animal, because this is nature here, and she was out in nature. She was out in nature. Normally this card represents motherly, or in my daily readings I look at this card as being the Blessed Mother watching over us. But in this case, I'm seeing either she might have been pregnant. If she was, it wasn't for very long. Or something in nature also harmed her, played a role in harming her. And then we have the Wands, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then we have Pentacles, which is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We know her friend is a Virgo. And we know his mom, I believe it's his mom, yes, is an Aries. So was there more than one person there that played a role in harming her? Possibly. That's definitely Scorpio. That's definitely him. And Spirit had me pull these cards. I'm going to do one more question, and then I'm going to wrap this video up. Hopefully it won't be too long and it won't split the video. So, I have to rephrase another question that I had asked earlier. So, this question is, prior to Gabby being found, prior to her being found, what did her fiancé's parents know? So the first card we get is the Moon card, which is Gabby's card. And it was close to the full moon. My question is, what did they know prior to her being found? The Knight of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn could represent her friend. The Five of Swords. Swords being Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We don't have anybody under those signs that we know of as of yet. And then, of course, we have the Ten of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sag, that's his mom. So, what did the parents know prior to her being found? This is it, Gabby. I see money involved here, possibly. I feel like there was some money involved here. I feel like there was I'm being told there was a conflict. There was a conflict and the parents know about it. The conflict was over money. Or it may have been a conflict over her friend. And then we have the Ten of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Somebody is feeling overwhelmed. The 10 also reflects completion. I've got goosebumps, guys. I don't like where I'm going, what I'm getting with this. But let's see here. Let's clarify. So we're going to clarify the Moon card. The Moon in itself represents dreams, and we all know Gabby's dream was to drive cross country and put it on social media. So we're going to clarify that, and clarifying it with the Star card, Aquarius. Be patient. The Nine of Pentacles. And we get the Page of Pentacles. A new journey. For a younger person. And the Five of Swords. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Conflict, broken trust. And that's what the Five of Swords is, conflict. And lastly, the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands. Let's clarify, please. And we get Gemini in reverse. I don't know if there is anybody under that sign. Something was done hastily. That's what Gemini, that's what the Lovers card reflects when it's in reverse, is something was done in haste. So the question was, what did the parents know about the situation prior to her being found? They knew everything. They knew everything. I feel like it was communicated to them here, even though that's a conflict. But I feel like they received the communication. They knew. So I'm going to end this video here. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments section. Or you can email me. My email address is in the description box under the page, under the video. And it's also, my email's also in the About section. So if you have any questions or information that you don't feel confident putting on the video in the comments section, shoot me an email. And I'm sure there will be more questions to come, unless the fiancé is found, and found soon. Keep in mind, if you leave questions, try to make them where they're not yes or no. I don't do yes or no questions. I feel like some private citizen's gonna figure out where he's at. So, we'll find out. I send much love, many blessings to all my subscribers, all my viewers. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and notification bell. You just never know when I'm gonna put a video out, as you can see. As always, I'll see you back here next time. Have a wonderful day.